Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Today's editorial is related to polity, Indian polity. It is related to Kashmir issue, the problems over there, and the initiative taken by the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. Now, before we go to the editorial, let us have a look at some of the words you're going to learn from today's editorial: revival, betrayal, strip, concerted, undermine, incubate, hostility, embrace. Besides these words, today you're going to learn about 10 to 15 words. Besides these words, today you're going to work on exam topics, practice questions based on exam topics. You're going to work on spot the errors, para jumble, sentence improvement, phrasal verbs, not idioms, and as usual, editorial words and the meanings you have to match. Now let us go to the editorial and see the ask the basic question, see the framework. So what is this editorial about? It is about the center's move to engage with the political leadership in Kashmir. It talks about the initiative taken by Mr. Modi, that is a center's move for what? To engage with the political leadership, to involve the political leadership in Kashmir. The tone of the passage or the editorial is positive, appreciative rather. And what is a broad framework? It starts with a meeting, the meeting to be on a particular date based on initiative taken by the Prime Minister, and this is going to happen after 2 years of a particular incident or event. You will come across that in the editorial. Then it talks about the flexibility of the center or Mr. Modi and hope. It's all about the hope and promise. Then it talks about provides a background information, special status. Then it talks about undermining. Undermine is an important word. It means what? To weaken someone or something. And it talks about the parties in Kashmir. Then it talks about the alliance between the BJP and other parties. Then it talks about incubation, the idea of incubation. The center, the BJP party, it hasn't worked out, the editorial says. And it talks about uh, general political environment in the US, China, Pakistan, all these countries, the strategic stand, it talks about that. Complete paragraph regarding that. Then it talks about the pandemic, how the image of the country has taken a beating. And it says again, reiteration of the same idea. What is that idea? Positive move. The initiative taken by the Prime Minister is something positive, highly appreciable. We should welcome it. Then it talks about debasing the political situation or the political parties, pilferage. Usually it goes with everyday English. And finally, it talks about the groundwork done by the center, but the plans are not revealed. And at the fag end of the editorial, it presents the opinion, what has to be done. So this is a broad framework. Now, what is the significance of this editorial? It goes with Indian polity, and it is important from prelims and mains point of view. From descriptive paper point of view, it is not that important. Now let us go to the actual editorial. How does it start? Hope and promise. Hope, you have a hope based on what? Promise, someone's promise. But the main idea of the editorial, the center's move to engage with the political leadership in Kashmir is welcome. As I said, the tone of the passage is positive based on the word welcome. Now, the center has taken the initiative, the Prime Minister has taken the initiative, the center's move regarding what? To engage the political leadership, the political parties and the leaders in Kashmir, it is something positive. It is something we should welcome. That's what it talks about. The entire editorial talks about that and provides the background information. At the fag end, it talks about what has to be done. Now, how does it start? It starts about with a particular meeting, scheduled meeting, signaling a revival of the political process in Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has decided to meet 14 party leaders from the Union Territory on June 24th, signaling. Now, this initiative taken by the Prime Minister or the center signals, it is like a signal regarding the move taken by the center. It's a signal that indicates something positive. Revival. There's one important word over here. Revival means what? Improvement in someone's condition or a particular situation. Other words, revitalize, revival, revitalize. All these words are related words. Improvement. So this is like a signal regarding the revival of the political process in Jammu and Kashmir, signaling a revival of the political process in Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has decided to meet 14 party leaders from the Union Territory on June 24th. So, this talks about the meeting on June 24th. The PM is going to meet 14 party leaders, and it is a signal to show that they're going to revive the political process in Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Modi's outreach, reaching out to people, is taking place nearly 2 years after the state of Jammu and Kashmir was stripped of its special constitutional status and dismembered into two union territories through an unprecedented exercise of the center's powers. Now, this is a very lengthy sentence, but what does it talk about? This particular meeting is going to happen after almost 2 years. 2 years regarding after 2 years, then what is that we are supposed to consider? After 2 years, in the sense, 2 years after Jammu and Kashmir was stripped off. There's a particular word here, strip. Usually, the word strip goes with everyday English. What does it mean? To remove. And usually, it goes with clothes also, strip off, to remove. But here means remove the status, special status. So, this is going to happen. The meeting is going to happen after 2 years. And this is like after 2 years after Jammu and Kashmir was stripped off, removed of its special constitutional status and dismembered into two union territories through an unprecedented exercise of the center's powers. Center using its powers in an unprecedented move. Way back in 2 years means you have to go 2 years, 2021, 2019. It is stripped off the special status of Jammu and Kashmir and dismembered into two union territories. And this sentence talks about that. This demonstrates a desirable flexibility in his approach towards resolving the Kashmir issue. This demonstrates, here this means the initiative taken by the Prime Minister demonstrates, illustrates, shows a desirable flexibility in his approach towards resolving the Kashmir issue. Now he wants to meet the political leaders, 14 party leaders. He has taken the initiative, the center's move. It shows that they have a flexible approach in resolving the Kashmir issue. Considering the absence of an agenda for the meeting, there's no agenda. Usually, what happens, any meeting, there's an agenda, list of things to be discussed. But in this case, there's no agenda. Considering the absence of an agenda for the meeting and the prevailing sense of betrayal among Kashmiris, any hope of a quick resolution to the frozen political questions is not realistic. This sentence says there are two issues over here. One, the meeting is a good thing, initiative is a good thing, but when it comes to the meeting, there's no agenda. That is one drawback. The second drawback, there's a feeling of betrayal among Kashmiris. There's one important word over here, betrayal. Betrayal, generally we say backstabbing. But to use the actual language, it means what? To deceive or cheat someone who thinks you're loyal to him. And it also goes with the country's betrayal. He is a betrayer, revealing the secrets of a particular country to the enemy. That also comes under betrayal. So, two problems are here based on these two problems. One, there's no agenda when it comes to the meeting. It should be there, it has to be there. Second, there's a general sense of betrayal among Kashmiris. Because of these two problems, the editorial says any quick hope of a quick resolution, if you have a hope, quick resolution, immediate solution based on these frozen political questions, that is not realistic. It is not going to be realistic. That means what? Quick resolution chances are very less, or chances are bleak. Discontinuing the special status of Kashmir was a core agenda of Hindutva nationalism for decades, which was achieved after the second parliamentary victory of Mr. Modi in 2019. So, this talks about the ideology or the aspirations or the ambition or whatever it is, the motivation, the goal, whatever. It goes with Hindutva nationalism for decades. Decade, 10 years, for decades, many years. Discontinuing the special status of Kashmir was a core agenda, the main thing of Hindutva nationalism for decades, which was achieved. This core agenda of Hindutva nationalism was achieved. It has been there for many decades, and it was achieved after the second parliamentary victory of Mr. Modi in 2019. There has been a concerted campaign to undermine political parties and leaders of the valley by the BJP and the center. There has been a concerted means coordinated campaign to undermine, concerted an important word, coordinated, and undermine is also an important word. What does it mean? To weaken someone, to bring down the efficiency or efficacy of something or someone. So, by the BJP and the center, they have been trying to do that. Since 2014, the BJP has worked under a premise that the PDP and NC were impediments, not facilitators to a solution in Kashmir. Now, BJP has a stand regarding the two parties. One is PDP and NC. They consider these two parties, they are not the facilitators. They are not there to provide a solution, but they are basically impediments. This word you have got many a time. What is the meaning of the word impediment? A block, hurdle. So this talks about the stand of or the view of the BJP party regarding the parties in Jammu and Kashmir. Now it talks about a particular alliance between BJP and a local party over there. The BJP's short-lived alliance with PDP, far from building bridges, far from reducing the gap, created more hostility between the parties and delegitimized both in the eyes of the public. Now he talks about a particular alliance between BJP and PDP, and it was short-lived. Instead of bridging the gap, removing the gap, it has created hostility between the parties. There is one important word here, hostility. You have got this word many a time. Hostility means what? Enmity between the parties and delegitimized both in the eyes of the public. Both lost the credibility in the eyes of the public. The leaders of mainstream parties, including former chief ministers, were jailed after 2019. Based on that particular special important event, subsequent to that, the leaders of mainstream parties, that's an important expression, mainstream parties, mainstream politics, including former chief ministers, were jailed after 2019. The center's idea to incubate a loyal political class made little progress. Now, center tried to incubate. Incubate is an important word. It goes with birds usually. Birds, when they lay eggs, they try to incubate. What does it mean, incubate? Keep the eggs safe and warm. Usually 21 days range is there, and then so that it grows. So incubate a loyal political class. The center's idea to incubate loyal political class made little progress. Now, little progress means no progress at all. Now he talks about how the political environment in the meantime, since 2019, how the political environment, internationally speaking, how it has changed. The political environment has changed meanwhile. It gives example of the US, China, and Pakistan. The Joe Biden administration is eager to end the US entanglement in Afghanistan and resist China's attempts to dominate the world. India is in a standoff with China on the border. The Biden administration is publicly disapproving of India's Kashmir policy while wanting to strategically embrace it. There are two things here. Openly, it is disapproving. On the other hand, it wants to strategically embrace it. There's one important word here, strategically. Defense point of view. Pakistan is trying to reclaim its strategic advantage. Defense point of view, the advantage. So all these the sentences talk about the change in the political environment. The US stand, then China's stand, then the standoff between China and India, and also Pakistan's stand. Now it talks about the impact of pandemic. What exactly happened? The mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic has dented India's global image and triggered new political challenges domestically. Now, pandemic mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic has dented India's global image. There's one important word, dented. Usually, it goes with everyday English. Dent means what? A slight hollow in a hard, even surface. Usually, it goes with cars, vehicles, dents on the car. All these make rigidity less rewarding in India's Kashmir policy. All these factors they make if the center is very rigid in its approach, then the result is not going to be positive. It is going to be less rewarding. That means what the center has to be very flexible. All the same, by creating an opportunity to explore a way forward, the center has acted wisely regardless of its reasons. Whatever the outcome is going to be, irrespective of the factors, the initiative taken, that is a good thing. By creating an opportunity to explore a way forward, the center has acted wisely, appreciative, regardless of its reasons, whatever the reasons may be. It must engage the political parties in good faith and with an open mind. The last sentence talks about how it has to engage the This initiative is to engage the political parties in Jammu and Kashmir. How it has to engage the opinion? It must engage the political parties in good faith, trusting each other, and with an open mind, no restrictions whatsoever. So this is all about the editorial. Oh, it some we have Kashmir's governance challenges are not managerial, and corruption investigations, legitimate as they may be, must not be used to debase politics itself. Now it talks about corruption investigations, and these challenges are not managerial, and they should not reduce this to bringing down the image of politics. Debase is one important word, means what? Degrade, bring the value of something. Corruption investigations may be legitimate, but it should not degrade politics itself. That's what the sentence talks about. Efforts to tackle corruption and pilferage should not amount to furthering instability in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, efforts are there, efforts to tackle corruption and pilferage. Usually, this word pilferage goes with everyday English. What does it mean? Steal in small quantities, steal something that is not very valuable in small quantities, and usually it goes with legitimate means legal, legitimate, legal, should not amount to furthering instability in Jammu and Kashmir. These efforts should bring a positive change. They should not further create instability in Jammu and Kashmir. The center appears to have done some groundwork. Looks like the center has done the groundwork, though it has not revealed any plans yet. We don't know because it has not revealed the plans. Reveal means what? Disclose, make public. The last sentence talks about the meeting must be a beginning towards a durable and democratic resolution of the Kashmir question and not an exercise in managing the center's image. It should not be to manage the center's image, excuse me, but it should be a sincere effort towards a durable and democratic resolution or solution. So, this is all about, please excuse me. This is all about the editorial. You have to read once or twice to understand because the context goes with Indian polity. Now, what are the questions based on this editorial comprehension point of view? As usual, what is this editorial about? What demonstrates a desirable flexibility in Mr. Modi's approach? Always take the keywords and try to answer. What was the core agenda of Hindutva nationalism for decades? Easy to answer. In the context of the editorial, what made little progress means no progress whatsoever. What must not be used to debase politics itself? Again, keywords you can answer. Now let us go to the practice questions based on exam topics. The first one, the first five questions go with error location. Error location, the first question, your time starts now. Just have a look at the sentence. Mind you guys, all these questions are from actual exam questions. It's only 7:18. Oh, looks like I've done it very fast. A person who sticks to one thing in spite of initial difficulties is sure to succeed in the end. Very good. A lot of students have got it right within no time. That's wonderful. I appreciate. Your time is, I don't see the timer. Give me a second. Answer is in spite of, that is a preposition. There are two prepositions which express contrast. One is despite, the other one is in spite of. A common error, people write in spite of as two words. In spite, one word, the way I have shown over there, you see over there, of one word. But do remember, in spite of three separate words. Three separate words. So you should not write as two words. They should be written as three separate words. That's this question is about a preposition. And despite is also important from the exam point of view. Despite, usually many exams they've given a question. They try to use the combination despite of. Despite never takes a preposition of. It's only despite. In spite of, Again, not easy under pressure. If they give as two words, always remember they are three separate words. In spite of. Now let us go to question number two, error location. Your time starts now. Despite of is not correct. That's right. I see the time lag. Now your timer has started. You have about 15 seconds. I felt privileged to recite a poem in an honor of my teacher at a recent school function. So, where is the error? Please mention the question number, then you write the correct expression. That is always better. Time up. What is the answer here? The answer is in the honor, not an honor, in the honor of my teacher at a recent school function. An honor you cannot use in this pattern. I felt privileged to recite a poem in the honor, not in an honor. Here we cannot say an honor, it should be in the honor. In honor also is right. Without the also it is correct, but we cannot use an. Generally, in this context, because you are talking about a particular person, in the honor of someone, in the honor. If you don't mention in honor, then you that is also right as a phrase. So, question number two, it is about article related to what article. Now let us go to question number three, error location. Question number three. Prisoners, especially long term convict, have to suffer most from emotional starvation. Yes, that's right, in the honor. Because it's a specific context. That you should always remember. Specific context you have to. This is an easy one. Pritham has got it right. The first one to get it right. You still have 10 seconds to go. Others, hmm, time up. Answer is it talks about prisoners, especially long term. After that, the word convict, it should be in the plural form, not in the singular form. Long term convicts, convict. As a noun, we say convict. As a verb, we say convict, convicted, convict. So here the noun should be in the plural form. The question is about a noun. Question is about what? A noun. Now let us go to the next question. Question number four. Arrow location related. Your time starts now. What about an emotional starvation? An emotional starvation. You want me to go back? See, once I say the answer, then it ends there. No, we don't say an emotional starvation. No. In this context, we don't use. Based on the sentence pattern, you have to use the article. Who wanted to know that? Vinod Kumar. No, we don't say an emotional. From emotional starvation. From emotional starvation. That's absolutely nothing wrong with that expression. Now let us go to, I think, time up. What is the answer for question number four? I have visited Mumbai 2 years ago. There is specific time that goes into the past. Then we cannot use present perfect tense. We should use past tense. Based on that, what is the answer? I have visited is not correct. It should be I visited Mumbai 2 years ago. I visited Mumbai 2 years ago. The question is about past, present perfect tense they gave, but actually it is about past tense. It is about past tense. They have given in present perfect. That is not correct. It should be past tense related. Now let us go to the next question. The last question related to error location. You still have time. You still have 10 seconds. 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 You still have I had. No, no, we don't use because here the conjunction is and. A and D. If it is before, by the time, when, after, these four conjunctions, there are two clauses and indicate the sentences indicate, the clauses indicate the actions happen one after the other. Only then you should use past perfect. Here it is and conjunction. You cannot use past perfect. You should use past tense. Three-fourths, nothing wrong. This is a most important question for today. Error location related. So try to get it right. Time up. Now listen to me. Here the subject is three-fourths. What is the subject here? Three-fourths. This is a fraction. First I will tell the rule, then I will show the answer. Three-fourths is a subject and that is a fraction. Now there's one important rule. In fact, they gave in 2017 SBI a lengthy sentence based on this particular rule. If the subject is a fraction, and after the fraction, usually you see a phrase. What is a phrase after the fraction here? Of the men. Of the men. In this phrase, there is a noun. What is a noun? Men. Man singular, men plural. So here, if the subject, the rule, if the subject is a fraction, the verb agrees with the noun in the phrase that follows the fraction. What is a phrase that follows the fraction? Of the men? What is a noun in that? Men. That is in the plural form. Then we cannot use a singular verb. It should be a plural verb. Based on that, what is the correct sentence? It is not have, it should be has. I don't know how many of you have got this right. Two-thirds of the books are good. Yes, that's right, Yakub. Here, books plural, you have to use plural verb. And answer, three-fourths of the men have gone to war. Have, not has. This is an important question. Now let us go to, if I say two-thirds of the book, then I have to use a singular verb. Two-thirds of the book is interesting. Two-thirds of the books are interesting. See the difference. Now let us go to the next one. Sentence improvement. Five questions based on sentence improvement. Again, actual questions from different competitive exams. 3 out of 5. Good enough. One more. Kalyan says 3. Hari also says 3. That's good enough. You can't expect all the 5 to be correct. That will take some time. 4 is also pretty good. 3 is good enough. Rajshekhar 4. Yes, yes. Be happy. All the 5, you should be extremely happy. Nothing about the accident has come to our knowledge. Where is the error? You still have 12 seconds, 11 seconds. 1, 3. Pawan Reddy says no improvement. Others have given the options. Yeah, time up. Answer is no improvement. Nothing about the accident has come to our knowledge. Usually we say, imagine an important event happened, then we say, it hasn't come to my knowledge. It has not come to my knowledge. That's what we say. Answer is what? No improvement. Nothing about the accident has come to her knowledge. That means what? She doesn't know anything about the accident. Usually, everyday English, listen very carefully. Someone says something happened, then you respond, oh, really? It hasn't come to my notice. It hasn't come to my knowledge. There are two expressions. It hasn't come to my notice. It hasn't come to my knowledge. I'm not aware of that. Now let us go to question number 2. The most important aspect for life is to be humble. This is an easy one, should not be that difficult. Question number 2, sentence improvement. 1, 4. No, we are doing with second one. You have to, has it got stuck? No. More than 20 seconds, I think, the lag time. Aspect of, not asset. Asset is something very useful. It goes with things, it goes with persons. He is an asset to the organization, a very useful employee. Assets of a person, whatever properties, tangible, intangible, usually tangible. Answer is your time up. Answer is the second option. What is the second option here? It is the most important aspect of life, not for life, of life, is to be humble. Humble means what? Simple, modest, not proud, down to earth. Some people they achieve a lot of success. They become celebrities. In spite of that, they're very simple, not proud, not arrogant, humble, modest, down to earth. There's one important idiom, down to earth. They have given in many exams. Now let us go to question number three. We were not used to get up early. This is a good question. Question number three is a good question. No, no, I am. Who is this Kalpana? Now I am not with that organization. I'm with an academy. I'm on my own. Thank you very much, Kalyan. I was. You have to change the sentence to past tense. Who is this Kalpana? Please go to question number three. You still have about 12 seconds. Used to getting up early. Pritham says that. After that, I see Ravi Teja. A lot of students have said first option. Viju says second option. But many students have gone for the first option, time up. Now, what is the answer? This is a very good question. That's what I said. Listen very carefully. A lot of students have a fixed idea. What is that fixed idea? After to, we should use a basic form of the verb. Need not be all the time. Based on whether to goes with the word before, and is it a fixed expression, then based on that, it can take the noun verb in the ing form used as a noun. Here, we were not used to. Here, to goes with used. Used to is a helping verb. It is used to express past habitual actions. So we were not used to what? You need a noun. Here, getting up. Getting up is a noun, verb in the ing form used as a noun. Based on that, what is the answer? The second option, not the second option, first option. Yes, very good. What is the reason? Used is also in red color, in red. Based on that, we were not getting up early. That is not correct. We were not used to getting up early. Answer is the first option. This is a very good question. Now let us go to question number four. James epitomizes everything that a leader should be. Used to, there's one more helping verb, would. Would has got four functions. Would, four functions: formal invitation, formal request, past habits or past habitual actions. And would is used with like to mean want to, and it is very polite. It depends, Rasul. Yes, question number four. You still have 10 seconds. Try to get it right. A lot of students have said no improvement, but I see equal number. Third option. No, no. Answer is time up. Answer is a fourth option. What is the fourth option here? No improvement. James, whoever the person, epitomizes, epitome, a role model, something that is perfect, flawless, epitomizes like a perfect person, everything that a leader should be. He is like a typical example of perfection. for a leader. A typical, that's what I'm telling, who is a Shiv Kumar. Epitomize means, first you have to know the word epitome. From the word epitome, you get epitomize, means what? To be a role model, to be a perfect example of something, to be a perfect example of something, so that if you are the perfect example, others try to emulate, others try to imitate. So, I'm looking forward to awaiting the results. What does it mean, Yakub? Now let us go to question number 5. Time starts now here, but 20 seconds lag is there. The sight of the lizard is hateful to me. A perfect example of something, Kalpana. Epitome, a perfect example of something. They may give correct sentences, of course they do. That is the reason why we have the option no improvement. That is precisely the reason why we have no error. Usually, people don't consider the fifth option. That is because of conditioned behavior. You have 5 seconds to go, then we'll see the answer. Repulsive. Many students have got it right. Answer is repulsive. Second option is the answer. Repulsive means what? You don't feel like looking at that, or you don't feel like doing that. Something is repulsive. You don't want to do that, you don't want to see that. For many people, for me also, lizard, the sight of a lizard is repulsive. Why? We don't know the exact reason, especially lizards. For some people, cockroaches, repulsive. For some people, frogs are repulsive. Why? We don't know. Now, I will give you 2 minutes. Parajumble from an international magazine, not easy. Read carefully, try to get the correct order. Parajumble, your time starts now. 4 out of 5, that is good. 3 is also good. Someone has been asking, sir, uh, conduct the poll. I'll try to do it tomorrow. Let's see how it works out. 4 is good, good enough. Which one you could not get? A lot of students say 4. That means one question difficult, 4 questions easy. For many students, 4. So happy. 3 is also good. Not repulsion, repulsive. Repulsive sight. We should use the adjective form. Repulsive adjective, repulsion noun. No. You still have 1 minute and 45 seconds for parajumble. I am surprised. Only one student has got it right. Let others also respond. You still have a lot of time. Oh, 1D. I think 2 students have got the correct order so far. Many of the students they've gone off the track. The very first sentence. There's a reason for that. I will tell you later. You still have 25 seconds, so try to get it right. Three students, not more than three. Time up. Now, the first sentence, a lot of students have thought B is the first sentence. B is not the first sentence. C is the first sentence. The drive to vaccinate all adults over the age of 18 in the UK could lead to a concentration of COVID 19 cases in school children. A leading British virologist has warned. Then what happens? Under 18s would then become reservoirs. So three sentences CEA. I don't know how many of you have got. I've seen two of you have got CEA. After that, it talks about the particular scientist. Tang was speaking. Already mentioned Tang in A. Now D is the fourth one. And the last one, based on all this, a race is now on between the vaccination program and the emergence of a third wave of the virus, say scientists. So, what is the correct order? A lot of students could not get it. Nothing wrong, no problem. It is not CEADB. What is the correct order? CEADB. Yes, Pritham, that's right. I've seen some students, they have got CEA. After that, it is easy. Should not be a problem. See, only five parts, not easy to get, but nothing to worry. Let us go to the five questions based on phrasal verbs. And here it's a new pattern in the sense it's not matching. You see five sentences, each one with a blank, and five, nothing to worry. Once you go off the track, it is gone. Ah, yes, that's a good question. Who is this Sujata? That's what I wanted to tell. Now don't look at the phrasal verbs, listen very carefully. Regular classes also I tell students, if you see the definite article the, eliminate. It cannot be the first sentence. But do remember, when we give rules, this is the reason why I tell students quite often I say English has rules, English has exceptions. Generally, we say the definite article the, don't consider it cannot be the first sentence. But you should understand the context. Context, based on the context, sometimes we start with the whole context goes with vaccinating 18 plus people, the drive and the impact of that. Based on that, though you have the definite article the, it can be the first sentence. I hope it's clear. This is very important. This is reason why I tell students always depend on the context. Context is important. Based on the context, you have exceptions. How do you know that? Understand, you should have contextual awareness. That is very important. Now try to answer. This also I can give 2 minutes, but 2 minutes too long. A minute is enough to answer these. These are all very easy ones, not that difficult. Already you have started answering. Call on, visit a person. Hmm. Second one is four. Try to answer all of them. Then I will tell. Thank you. So you got it. That's wonderful. 24153. Who is this? Nagamaleshwari. She has written all. Here, the first one, call on means to visit. One of the meanings. First one, it should be. We called on. We called on them last night, but they were not home. They weren't home. If everyone chips in, everyone gets involved. Answer is the fourth one, chip in, to get involved and take up the responsibility of doing something. The new company will have to close it. Close if it can't. Get over. Get over means overcome. It also goes with the third one is one. It also goes with fever, a fever. Has she got over the fever? Get over something negative. overcome. My friend didn't want to go to the concert, a musical program, either vocal or instrumental, but he finally gave in. Give in means what? Surrender, to yield. Answer is the fifth one. My dream, and now I'm a banker. I went after my dream. You all should go after your dream. What is your dream? To become a banker or to become whatever. So go after your dream. Go after someone, go after something. Chase and get that. So he has got all the five correct. That is highly appreciable. Now let us go to the last slide. With the context easy to locate. Yes, of course. Without the context, not easy. All the five. Hmm. I'm sorry to say this, but don't try to remember that way. V1, V2, V3. That is not correct. Try to remember any verb has five forms like your five fingers. If you remember this way, it results in confusion at some point if you are really a smart student. What are the five forms of a verb? Basic form or infinitive, present form, past participle, and present participle. If you remember that way, your learning will be systematic and there will not be any ambiguity whatsoever when you learn the rules. Otherwise, if you start questioning, you will get a lot of doubts. That is the reason why I say it is not the right approach. A lot of people use that's a different thing. In my opinion, it is not the right approach because it results in ambiguity. And at some point, if you start questioning the rules, then you will not have the answers. Now, first one, revival, revival of something. Which part of speech is it? It is a noun, means what? Improvement. D. D is the answer. Now, betrayal, betray, verb, betrayal, noun, means what? Backstabbing. Answer is G. And strip, strip is a verb, strip off, not OFF, only OF, means what? Remove. Usually it goes with powers, rights, privileges, and clothes. Around the clock, around the clock. Usually we say round the clock. Around the clock is also right, but usage point of view, round the clock means 24 hours. He works round the clock. We don't say usually he works around the clock. He works round the clock means he works 24 hours. Now, what is the third one? The third one is verb remove. Where is remove? Answer is F. Concerted, efforts, adjective means what? Coordinated. Coordinated efforts. Undermine, verb. An important word. Undermine means weaken something, make something less strong, less important. So H is the answer. Incubate, part of speech, verb. Keep safe and warm so that it develops or grows or hatches. Answer is J. Hostility, part of speech, noun. Hostile, adjective. Hostility, noun. Means what? Enmity. You've got this many a time. You can't afford to miss. Embrace, obviously, verb means what? Accept. Usually it goes with policies, all those things. And where is this accept? C is the answer. And what is the next one? Debase, degrade, bring down the value of something, status of something. Part of speech, verb, and degrade. Answer is E. What is the last one? Pilferage. Pilferage is a noun. Pilfer is a verb form. Pilferage, noun. Means what? Steal in small quantities, something that is not very important, not valuable. Usually it goes with maid servants. They steal whatever the groceries related stuff, small quantities. We use pilferage. Also, companies in the stores department, they have this problem. Now, this is all about the editorial, but before I wind up, I've got something important to say. Please listen. Please be for 2 minutes. I have started classes on an academy platform, and I every day I take 4 hours on an academy platform. Please listen. Of these 4 hours, 2 hours paid batch. One has to pay, and the time slot for that 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning. And the paid batch 9:30 to 11:30, I started with foundation grammar foundation course. Then out of 4 hours, 2 hours paid, remaining 2 hours, 12 noon to 1 o'clock. 12 noon to 1, I offer free classes again on Unacademy platform related to vocabulary. Everyday questions related to idioms, one word substitutes, antonyms, synonyms, all these vocab related topics. Evening, I started last week, 7:30 to 8:30 on YouTube. Again, free classes, grammar rules, 200 grammar rules. We have completed 40 rules, 200 grammar rules with previous years questions from previous years papers. Now, someone was asking, sir, bank also I'm going to start. Now, this batch on an academy goes with SSC. Bank also I'm going to start soon. I will inform you guys. 12 noon to 1, not YouTube. An academy platform, free classes. I will provide the link in the Telegram group after the session. Click on the link, then you will be able to log in. You will be able to access. You have to download an academy learners app and you can access the free classes. And do remember, every day I offer 3 hours free classes. Morning 7 to 8, editorial analysis free. Afternoon, not afternoon, 12 noon to 1, Unacademy platform free classes, vocabulary related. Evening 7:30 to 8:30, YouTube free classes, 200 grammar rules. And yes, I will do that. Who is this? I will definitely do that. That's a good idea. I will inform. After this session, I'm going to provide the link, 12 noon to 1, and orientation. Today, I'm going to do orientation, vocab related. Paid descriptive classes. This month, it is foundation, 1 month foundation grammar course. And next month, I'll be doing reading comprehension and vocabulary. And after that, or next month itself, I'll be doing descriptive classes. Yes, I'm going to touch descriptive English. That is very important. And a lot of students are not good at writing. Obviously, English is not a mother tongue. And descriptive classes are going to be very useful. Have trained a lot of people as BIPO because of the descriptive paper. It makes or breaks your selection. You have to be good at descriptive paper. You should know how to write an essay, how to write a letter. I'm going to do that also. That's it. So after the session, I'll provide the PDF, this particular session. I'll provide the link related to free classes on Unacademy platform, 12 noon to 1. And if you are not a member Telegram group, just click on the link, that's enough. And after the session, access the PDF. That's all for today. Have a nice day. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, not only you, Pritham, a lot of students are not good at descriptive paper. I'm known for my expertise in descriptive classes, descriptive paper. Last year, I think 2019, not 20, about 10 students got selected as BIPO. After the exam, they came and said, we conducted special classes, descriptive paper. Because of the descriptive paper, they got the selection. It makes or breaks your selection. Do remember, SBI PO especially, descriptive paper is a deciding factor. You got to be good. That is the reason why I tell students read the Hindu paper regularly, write about the editorial. That habit will help in the long run,